Hi, chat. Water's still heating up. Sorry, it's a little noisy. Thank you for joining me. Happy Friday to you all. Happy Valentine's Day to those who care to celebrate. Welcome, Pentone. Happy to see you, Cosmic. Welcome in, Head of Broccoli. Great to see you, JK. Hello, Will. Welcome, Engine 66. Why is my mic making so much noise? That's all you're getting for Valentine's Day. Yeah, it's still making noise. Got that covered, got that covered. Let's make sure you're still up to heat. That's what it is. Perfect height, apparently. Even with the little fuzzy thing on my mic. Really? Let's see if that's any better. Nice, Head of Broccoli. I got to come up with tonight's dinner last minute, which I'm really excited about it. I forgot to change the batteries in this. Let's see if I can do this and cheat it. So this company had yet another name for what I know of as creminis, which I'll be using for tonight's Strogonoff. Creminis, if you're unfamiliar, are essentially baby portobellos. They are portobellos that are like a couple hours earlier, like same day. It's like just starting to bloom and then full bloom. But these are, I've told you before, I've heard baby bellas. I know them as creminis. Brown buttons. This company's calling them portinis. I don't know if I like that one. Hi, Alex. I mean, I'm sure it's probably easy to trademark and all that jazz. No, like, portinis. Like, it was drawn out longer than that. Connection control. It forms an emotional bond with the food. Or maybe it reads its astral readings. Oven with built-in food horoscope. Thank you for joining me, chat. Cheers. You will find them sold pretty prevalently as milk frothers. Oh, I turned the cutting board. I had such a bad habit of that after Cheers. I leave it on the main screen. They sell these like pretty prevalently as milk frothers. They're all over the place. They're in just about every supermarket that I go to. Surprisingly. Alright, where do we start with things tonight? I think we're going to make our pasta dough and allow that to rest. And then we'll get into the other fun stuff. What is this? This is rice, isn't it? Yeah. What is that from? Oh, I know what that was. Did that get in all of the eggs? Did that get all over everything else in here? No, it seems okay. Anyone remember the chocolate frosting glaze? At least I got another thing to move these eggs over into. Hello, Nan Reader. What did I do with you? I just tapped you. No. Hiding in plain sight. I knew it had to be that too, but there's our leftover egg from last stream. I had the yolk and I used a fair amount of the white, so it's like a yolk without much of a white. Let's save this later for the meatballs. We'll get this going together with a bit of salt. Little bit of water. Olive oil. Welcome, they can see me. I keep forgetting to buy turbinado sugar. Or rather, I don't want turbinado sugar. I want sugar in the raw, because sugar in the raw is better than turbinado. They just do such a better job of, like, I understand you're adding molasses back into it, but they just do such a better job of recrystallizing it. That it is, Pentoed. I often use pasta flour, but I'm not tonight. Engine, thank you for the subscription. Greatly appreciate that. Get all of this off of my fingers here. You want durum wheat flour. Double O grind. That's more of a pizza thing, but for sure, but ooh, gifties. Thank you.
Dollar message.
I am in no means a pasta expert, but of the people that I know of that are more pasta people than I believe their opinion is that it matters more the grind and getting that really fine than, but if you want to be authentic, you need it all. But we're not really making pasta tonight in the sense of we're not doing anything really Italian. The rest of this dinner is all other parts of Europe. There is a legit difference, though. That's the one that's... If you're going for the soft wheat flour, the Wondra flour, otherwise you're just talking protein content in the flour for the most part. But soft wheat and hard wheat are definitely, they're completely different plants. If you're in the US, the only way you're going to buy soft wheat is if you're specifically buying like Wondra. It's typically only sold in like smaller box form. Double O flour is like super fine. It's as fine as they typically grind. Like, I'm sure modern day they have some new science age project that can produce something better, but in the normal world, yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, people don't like. That's been a frustration of mine for many, many years that I've sort of almost hopefully buried at this point. But yeah, the lack of care for Is it warm? Did it fill me up? Good, we're done. That's how I think most gamers are actually about it. Alright, I'm liking how this is feeling as far as moisture content, workability. I'm not going to need the junk out of it. And so we're going to let that sit while we do meatballs. Let's use symbol. Actually, let's not, because the pasta flour is going to take forever to get out of that. I've actually been sort of considering the idea of trying that with the Patreon. Like, just buying one of everything at a store and be like, taste test and try it maybe in some simple, repeatable recipe or something. And give my honest opinion on them. But in the sense that I very much hate, like, I don't want product placement. I don't want... Okay. Guess we can start with the meat. That's one thing to throw in there. But we're gonna need some garlic. Lots of garlic tonight. You know, like, not planning on this being a date night dinner. So, yeah, I'm going full bore in the garlic and then the onion. One of the reasons I'm thinking of doing that is because I realize that even though I'm not really like a name of any sort and anything like that, I still get people in here like wondering, you know, well, what product is that? And I don't want like half of the stuff I haven't tried before. I'm trying this out at my own. I'm sitting here thinking of, yeah, I've got Kinkum Man low sodium in my fridge right now. And that one's going bye-bye. I don't like the way you look. I don't love the way that you look either, even though you're unblemished. Nope, you're bye-bye. What is with all the garlic these days being all blemished and horrible? I know it's like worst part of the season for it, but at least locally. This all looks like it's been frozen or something. Yeah, it looks like this all got frozen or something. Well, green label's low sodium. I want to guess the red label's original, but I don't know for sure. Sort of looks like garlic when she cut it up. Okay, not doing any mushroom in there. This is being saved for other projects. We're using garlic in 3 things tonight, so... Like, even smells of garlic to me. Like, it has that, like, distinctive ew about it. This has it. Sorry, mythical, is it Josh? Who loves this stuff? It's not the end of the world. It's better than no garlic, but no thank you. So the finer dice for the stuff going in with the mushrooms, or in with the meat in the meatballs. I hadn't said Baker, but I'm just doing straight ground beef. I do enjoy Mia. I typically like to throw a little pork in there. I just decided not against buying, like a half pound of pork or something like that. I'm only doing a pound. Only a pound. We'll keep that and just cut the top. Oh no, that one's way too leathery actually. Get rid of the leather, keep the rest. I'm going to grate some of this onion in there. About a quarter of the onion. Yeah, that doesn't seem like very much. We can do a little more than that. Yeah, it's a little bit better looking. Take these scraps out of there. Want all the small stuff in there and keep the larger stuff because we can still use that. Because it's in the way, I'm going to cut up the rest of this onion. forgot the... Not the end of the world. The heel is there in some of it, but we're going to be cooking these all down quite a bit. Pork bibimbap. Bibimbap was one of the hits when I was at the Culinary Institute as far as the student meals. It was one of the ones that everyone lined up for whenever it was available. I'm actually at a loss to remember what other dishes were there that were like hits like that. There were others. I'm just not recalling what they were. Well, not only that, but it's traditionally it's the raw beef that you're cooking. I don't remember it as a rice bowl either, but I remember it as you're cooking almost like hot pot style, but individual order with the beef just, or whatever meat you're cooking, just heated through by the broth with everything else, and it was all sorts of stuff in there with it. I'd imagine many restaurants in America not wanting any flack from the health department, just throw it in there. I don't know. I haven't gone around trying bibimbap. It's fun to say, though. So I'm heating the pan up here on the back of the stove. And we're going to get these onions starting to cook. Now you got me looking that up, because with my memory, I could be completely wrong. I am wrong, it was rice. I still hold true to the thought that it was supposed to be thin sliced meats and egg that get folded in. Salt in with the onion there, and we're going to go back to our meatballs. No, I'm certainly not mixing. I could be mixing it up with something else. Hot pot is not what I'm... Like I said, I don't know. I am not any authority on Asian foods. If any, I've only been to China, and I was there for 2 weeks. So... Yeah, that's a trust thing to show that, yeah, we have high quality ingredients, we're not serving you. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Peppa. Worcestershire. Little yellow mustard. Can't stand those crusty little bits that get stuck on the end of condiment bottles. I know they're the sort of thing that, like, people don't even notice when it happens. Doesn't change that it irritates me. This is the first time I've tried doing the grated onion in with beef. I'm curious how that's going to turn out compared to... You do it with pork or chicken, which I both tried now. And it's just like super light compared to what you expect. Curious what it does with the beef. Not sure what your abbreviation is there. WRT, that's one I haven't seen. I have been known... I opened this one back up and it's a mess again still. But that's what we don't want. That's what I don't want. Like, on the top, that's not really a big deal. But the stuff down around here, that's what irritates me. I'm getting rid of the stuff on the top now too. And one thing that I will do is cap that and run water over the top of a... Oh, you would love this then, if you're familiar with Strogonoff. Maybe you aren't. Strogonoff is sort of like a mix of Russian and French. Like, it's like someone took a traditional French mustard sauce and then added a whole bunch of Russian sour cream into it. I think I'm just gonna go with them as is. Though I was sort of surprised, I saw a couple articles with yogurt in there. I guess there's not... When you're translating what it is, there's not a whole lot of difference between yogurt and sour cream. They're both cultured dairy. Last one's a little bit smaller than the others, but not sure. Going to set these off to the side for the moment and focus on our mushrooms. Our portinis. Which makes me even more, because porcinis are a thing. And these are not porcinis. Not sure what was up with that. Looked like something maybe tried to crawl up inside that one. Maybe ate its way up into its stem. Okay, so which of these do we got with a decent stem on it? Yep, there's still a flame underneath there. This is the first time I'm just cutting through this batch. These are all getting minced up other than the ones at the top corner there. Thank you for the follow. These are not staying pretty thin slices. That was just the initial cut through. Oh, I was going to throw some parsley in with the meatballs. Oh well. The idea is I'm going to be cooking most of this down to essentially mush. And then we've got the nice ones here to sear and show off that there's mushrooms in there. I'm still using parsley, and actually I was going to throw it in the meatballs mostly just because I could, because I bought a bunch of parsley, and I'm not going to use the whole bunch, so... I'm going to have to try doing a salmon one of this someday. Turn the heat back up over here. Once that starts making noise, we'll add a little water in there. I was hoping these would have a little more color at this point, and I guess I turned them down too much. Melt some stock on the other side, some chicken stock. Yeah, but it's also the different pronunciation of the wine, which is named after the grape. It was nice feeling absolutely zero peer pressure to buy any sort of flowers or anything today. Rather impressive display at the store when I went in today, though. They're definitely hoping for that last minute impulse. Oh my gosh, I forgot! A little more color here, and we'll start on with our other stuff here. I'm just a little more caramelized. They're going to be cooking for longer, but as soon as we add the mushroom into that party, I think it's going to be taking over things. I'm also going to be reducing the chicken stock. I package it in technically 3-cup bags by weight, And so we're going to reduce it down to about 1.5 cups, hopefully, for this. But a potent 1.5 cups. No, don't stick. No stick. Stick bad. So some of the garlic in there with our caramelized onion. And all of the mushroom going in there. A bit more oil. It matters depending on your knowledge of that stock. Like if you're buying the same stock all the same time, or you're making your own stock, you'll have that ability to do that. But if you're switching between different brands and stuff like that, you're not going to have good luck. As far as reduction rate, boil or simmer, it shouldn't matter. You don't want, well, if you got the fat with it like I do, you can maybe worry about that a little bit more because it's going to purposely make it a little bit cloudy if you straight up boil it. But that's, the problem with boiling stocks almost entirely is the fats. The fats are what's going to go rancid quickest and easiest and worst of what you've got in there. And so in many cases that you just remove them from the stock. And at any point when you've got those fats still a part of the stock, if you're boiling it, you're going to emulsify those fats into the stock water and, reduce its life, but also make it a little bit more cloudy. I'm going to throw a whole bunch of sour cream and other stuff into this, so I really don't care about this getting cloudy. So I have just got that on full high heat. Right now we're thoroughly steaming our mushrooms because they're overcrowding the pan. That depends mostly how you're freezing it, Pento. But at the same time, when you're freezing it, it's frozen. That's what they do with milk, though. That's what they do with the milk I buy. And you'll find that more commonly with, like, glass bottle dairy. They'll squirt a little heavy cream on the top of their milk, so it puts a little, like, puck of cream, solidifies at the top. And that way, that little puck of cream, even though you've only got like another inch of bottle there that there's open air, that little puck of cream does help keep the milk fresher for longer. Okay, this is getting close over here. We're going to allow this to cook a bit, the stock to cook a bit longer. But I'm going to roll out my pasta now. So we'll get this thingy out here. I find with plastic bags, if you freeze it with the little fat in the bags, it actually tends to clump up and actually majority of it will remain sticking to the plastic bag. Unless, like I did here tonight, you just squeeze it out. Rip it out of the bag. Something along that line. You're not supposed to be slipping. I doubt any of them would work very well with my counter mixer. It's an old KitchenAid. It barely is able to handle whipping cream. It's been given new life because you can now 3D print the gears in it, but for a long time these were essentially useless to the public because they came out with the nicer one that you can actually use for making doughs and stuff like that. And then there wasn't a way for the public to recreate the old gears and they stopped using them. You can send it in for service still. But I'm still happy with it for finding it for 20 bucks. Probably cost me more to put it in my carry-on luggage to bring home. I didn't pay for the, well, I paid for the carry-on luggage, but I didn't pay for the carry-on luggage. Oh, nice, Pinto. Let's see what that's down to. I'm going to call that chicken stock. Combined enough. And that was clear before I started boiling it, if you're curious, chat. That cloudiness was entirely caused by me boiling it with the fat in there. And that's got me going good here with a good proper sweat, even though I'm not really working to get that sweat. Okay, good with that. Good with that. Starting to get there with that. Back to rolling. Let's go one thinner. You have a pasta queen? This one was given to me from my mom, and it's got a service merchandise sticker on the bottom of it, if that's gonna help any of you date it. What were you looking at over here, camera? I'm over here. I don't think service merchandise has been around since the 90s. Maybe it made it into the noughties. Ooh, Pentode. That's a bummer. I think I'm going to go with this. As far as being done folding it tonight. This one doesn't have attachments, but it might have ones that you can clip onto it. But this does have 2 cutters on it. Sort of linguine and pasta slash maybe almost it's not angel hair, but it's also square cutting, so it's not spaghetti either. Spaghetti is an extruded pasta, so it is round. I think so. It's got a little brush that came with it too, that I don't use. I don't know if it's even in the box still or... I've also thoroughly package wrapped the, thoroughly wrapped the box in packaging tape to sturdy it up a bit. But chat, I'm going to take a couple minute AFK. I'm going to go sit down. My body is not happy with the heat. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes and we'll be back here. I'm going to open the window and cool down the room. And we'll come back in 5 to 10. Alright, folks. See you soon.
No, Jane and Ann aren't the crest testers here. Their daddy is. You see, Crest also showed it worked for older people like the Allbrands before it became recognized effective against cavities. Jim, when were you in this toothpaste test?
Back in college.
Let's show the story filmed at a recent reunion. Well, Jim, how did you become part of this toothpaste test?
The dentists at Indiana University asked us to.
Did many others join you in the test?
Quite a few. 246, as a matter of fact.
Did every one of you use Crest in this test?
We use Crest. Their side, regular toothpaste.
Do anything special?
No, everyone brushed as usual for 2 years.
But your group had
34% fewer cavities with Crest.
You know what's happened since these tests, Mrs. Allbrand?
Well, a lot of us use Crest.
And Crest has become the only toothpaste recognized effective against cavities by the American Dental Association. Their Council on Dental Therapeutics reports Crest has been shown to be an effective decay-preventive dentifrice that can be of significant value when used in a conscientiously applied program of oral hygiene and regular professional care. What's your program, Mrs. Allbrand?
Wash between meal treats, brush often, and have regular checkups.
And use Crest, of course. Crest with Fluorestan, the only toothpaste recognized effective against cavities.
Wow. Say, you gals think you're lucky you can get Swanson TV turkey dinners, but I say Swanson TV turkey dinners are a bigger break for husbands. Now, you take me. I can be early, I can be late, I can bring pals to dinner anytime I please, and get this, my wife never panics. She just takes Swanson TV turkey dinners from the freezing compartment of our refrigerator when I'm a little off schedule.
Oh, and right you are, Jack. And that is because Mary Lou knows that she can have a swell dinner ready in just 25 minutes.
Right.
And talk about easy. Well, she just pops Swanson TV turkey dinners in a hot oven. You know, they're oven-ready in individual heat-and-serve trays. With Swanson TV turkey dinners, you just heat and you serve big and hearty slices of moist, tender Swanson turkey with grand giblet gravy and special cornbread dressing and fluffy whipped sweet potatoes with golden Swanson butter and garden fresh peas with more butter.
Mother Murphy, lucky me. My wife uses Swanson TV turkey dinners. And make your husband lucky, too. Get Swanson TV turkey dinners, Swanson TV fried chicken dinners, Swanson TV beef dinners from your grocer's big freezer.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip that's so good to serve with king-size Fritos corn chips. Just follow the recipe right on the Fritos package. Of course, it calls for the famous Philadelphia brand cream cheese, an 8-ounce package, which we blended with 2 tablespoons of milk till it's nice and smooth, like so. Then come 2 tablespoons of Kraft cream-style horseradish for zesty flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and finally, a dash of salt. And we'll blend our Philly mixture again. And when party time comes, let the folks enjoy this wonderful Philly horseradish dip with crisp king-size Fritos. There are those busy hands. Just remember, you make the best-tasting dips with the freshest-tasting cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand cream cheese, made only by Kraft.
Folks, why do you eat Wheaties?
We like it.
But did you know it's always been whole wheat with all the bran, and bran is one of nature's best sources of food fiber.
That's news to us.
Wheaties breakfast this morning?
Sure, it helps me feel fit.
But do you know Wheaties has bran fiber your body may need?
That's news to me.
Why Wheaties?
Oh, we love the taste.
I have for years. But do you know for years you've been getting something extra for your diet? Bran fiber?
Well, that's news to me.
Wheaties. It's brand news.
Hi, chat. Sorry for those I just pinged in the Discord by mistake. Let's get some music going again. Thanks for giving me a minute there, chat. Like, I was just getting overwhelmed with heat. Like, I don't deal well with heat when I get too hot. Usually I find out almost too late that I'm getting too hot. And that was the case. And so I opened the window up, let a bunch of nearly freezing air into the house, kept the fans running. It's much cooler in here now. So we move on. We continue. We progress. And let's do one more. Go thin with our pasta or our noodles tonight. Maybe. There we go. Not quite the thinnest it goes, but close. Enough that I'm going to cut it in half again. Alright, now we're going through and cutting it. I'm doing the wider noodle size for tonight. Oh, come on. Wants to stick rather than cut. I could have done this better if I'd cut it with the other side down, but I ideally would want a roller that's much taller with more clearance underneath. Oops. I wasn't supposed to do that. I think they fixed the... Like, when I used to do that before, there was a bug in the website where I would have to... It would still... Even though I had stopped it with my earbud, it would show as though it was still playing in the web player. And I think they fixed that now. And so now I'm double clicking it, expecting it to be broke. And I'm having to click it another time because it's fixed. I got used to it being broke. Lopento, I am very blessed in the fact that I don't have to worry about winter so much that fact. Though, I don't know how long in my life I'm going to be able to afford to live out here. Real estate out here is just crazy. New apartments that they're putting in Santa Rosa, they're asking $2,500 to $3,500 for them. Single bedroom. I nailed this one, chat. It doesn't need any help at all. I want most things to have more height. Like, if this was my kitchen, this counter would be another 6 inches taller. Hey, M1. Nah, I don't want to be 6 inches taller. Then I'd definitely have to worry about doorways and... Don't think I would fit into any vehicle at that height. And don't get me started about airplane seats. Sorry, it's going to be noisy for a sec. There we go. Now it should be a little bit quieter from here on out. Okay, so we got our onions and mushrooms going on over here on the stove. And turn the heat back on these. I had it essentially off or all the way down. Bring these back up to heat, and then we're going to start building our sauce. Now this sauce is primarily thickened through the sour cream, but I'm going to do a little thickening on top of that. I'm right there with you, Pinto. 6'5", 6'4", depending on who's measuring me. And yeah, kitchen counters are too short. Most of my height is from my waist up. My legs are sort of short from my height. And so I find that armchairs are all too low. And I think I have neck problems because I'm constantly to the armrest. On top of that, I don't think any of the lumbar support things from any chair other than maybe a handful have ever been at the right height. And that includes autos where many times you can adjust them up and down. Put the flour away. I need to make a roux. This is more butter than I need, but butter. Flour. Oh no, I have the exact same problem, Penta. You'll notice that well, maybe you won't notice, but anytime there's excessive cutting, I feel it. Because I've been... Okay, I think that was more than a cup and a half, but it definitely wasn't the original 3 cups. I'm going to slide this into the back burner. Start heating up that one, which is what we reduced the stock in. I don't know if I showed that at all, but I melted and reduced the stock in that pan. Yeah, I don't know if that's... What kind of music is that? Crumpling countertops. Pasta. You gonna spatter? I poured you on top of some water. No? Nothing interesting? No even little... There's a few bubbles at least. Hi, bakery. Yes. Just like running is the best sport. What do I think about Hexclad? I think, is that Gordon Ramsay brand? Regardless, you have Teflon, like real Teflon, that's ruining the environment and destroying everything. And then you have cast iron, and pretty much everything else sucks for nonstick. You have beyond use of actual Teflon, you have essentially two options that are out there. You have silicone options and you have ceramic options. The ceramic ones leach silicone, so they have a lifetime. So when you buy them and they're new and they're fresh, they're fine. But they have a lifetime, and it's not a long lifetime. And the more you use it, the worse its ability to stick is going to have. Beyond that, the hex design, that's the whole thing with that company. Like, what sort of bullshit, like, because there's a hex pattern, it's somehow going to be non-stick? Like, but essentially all the new ones, they can be as non-stick as Teflon, but they either wear out incredibly easily, or the more you use them, they have a very short lifetime. Beyond that, curing your pan, whatever metal it is probably your best bet. Stainless, once you get it cured and use it, it's not bad. If you're there's certain things, like, you wouldn't do eggs well in stainless. But, I mean, meats, as long as you wait for them to properly sear and release, they do pretty well. But that's true of just about any metal. You cast iron, the more you use it, the more you let oil seep in and create that heavy layer on it, the better they are. Ew. Falling apart on me here. Too soft. Speaking of sticking, maybe I should have worked this meat a bit more, and, like, I was trying to keep it, beef a little bit toothsome, a little bit, but maybe I should have worked them a bit more. Maybe I should have thrown them in a processor or something to onions soften them up too much, I guess. Well, that leads into another thing too, is the thickness or thinness of a lot of these pans too. Because if you're using a nice thin pan, okay, it's going to transfer that heat pretty well from whatever you've got as far as a burner. It's not going to hold on to any of that heat though. And that's what you really need when it comes to searing. Like, I cannot stand... Weber's are decent grills. Don't get me wrong on that part, but I cannot stand their actual grills. They're, you know, those thin, almost like wire metal grills that retain absolutely no heat and don't allow you to put decent marks on anything. Well, maybe we'll go like that for a little bit. But I feel that way about enameled pans too. Like, there are all sorts of enamel cast iron pans. And I'm sure they're much better at molding and making pans these days than they were in previous days. But I sort of look at all of that enameled stuff. It's pretty. And if you're buying it because you want something that's pretty in your kitchen, awesome. But I look at it as there's less metal there. It's less. There's less of it there. You're replacing epoxy for metal. Am I ruining everyone's thoughts about their home's pans? I'm sorry. This one here just wants to be a problem. Everyone else sort of fell into line after I got them seared on one or two sides. This one's still a problem. That's probably true too. I haven't tried the difference in weight between them, but I'm sure it's an improvement in having to lug around with that too. Not that they're light. Oh, I was supposed to have this water trying to boil. Oops. I turned the water on now, chat. I was hoping that I could just toss these into the sauce after, but I don't think that's happening. They're going to fall apart if I do that. I'm going to have to pour the sauce over the top of them at the end. These are not fully cooked through. I know this, chat. I hear the rage seething. Like, you didn't cook them all the way through. Sorry. We're not there yet. This one might be cooked through. More oil. Oh yeah, that's also true. Like, I'm still working on the cure on this one. You can see on the back of it. The factory cure that a lot of cast iron has, I don't know how they're making it, but you can do a lot better at home. The problem is you have to then do it at home. Hi, Muskeg. I strongly suspect, like, they do it with everything, chat. Everything that has been good has been a product meant to be a lifelong product. In, since the 50s to now, we've pretty much, corporate world has gotten all of that gone, We want everything disposable. We gotta buy another one in 5 years, so we gotta keep our money coming in. Thank you for the resub, Muskeg. And I suspect that, like, substituting metal for epoxy, there's many other ways, you know, sandwiching cheaper metals, etc., etc. Like, if we really wanted the perfectly transmitting metal, we'd be using copper, but it's too soft. It sort of makes people sick. Absolutely, Pentoad. I've seen the speech and the follow-up speech. The speech and the follow-up speech would be, I would be referring to, I'm forgetting his name too. I'm forgetting the name of the convention and the dude that did it, but, like, the hacking convention. Maybe not modern day. I think maybe modern day we might have moved on from this, but it's the OG. No! Stop playing. DEF CON. That is the speech I am referring to. And he came back the next year and did a follow-up to it. Heat way down low in the searing pan now. You're going to use a little of this pizza sauce that I have. Add a little tomato into that party. And we'll add our sauce back in here. Dijon. Now we're going to add the meatballs back in there. Yeah, you can go lighter with it. I'm using the tomato sauce up. I would normally use just like a little bit of tomato paste. But I can see that there's no harm in skipping it when you're doing it yourself. We're going to change things around here. We're going to move this lovely pan of sauce and meatballs. I keep wanting to say mushrooms instead of meatballs. And push that to the back. And we're going to put that pan there, but we're going to clean it off first. Sister-in-law once ran out of ranch dressing for salad. Basic vinaigrette. She asked what the rest were. Well, that's good, head of broccoli. I mean, they're simple vinaigrettes. Not worth it. Many times they're using cheaper oils or cheaper vinaigrettes. Oil and vinaigrette, do it yourself with better ones. Wholeheartedly agree with that one. So many of them are so easy to make. Like, salad dressings are amazingly easy to make when you sit there and think about it. Like, all of them are basically mixes of condiments, whether it's Caesar salad or, well, the whole thing about Caesar salad was those things that were left over in the dude's kitchen. But, you know, that or Thousand Island is essentially mayo with ketchup, mustard, and relish. Simple vinaigrettes. Honey mustard, like mixing your favorite mustard and some good local honey will always be better than any bought honey mustard. Gotta be careful with that, though. Then you start getting into toying with things like, you know, you start using spicy and mild mustards and the right combos of... Absolutely, I've made it many times on stream here out of broccoli. And yeah, it's sort of like you're using mayo and sour cream, or mayo and yogurt, or mayo and anything along that line. I've been guilty of making it with just mayo. I've been guilty of making it with just sour cream. And I'm going to shut this down a little bit. My hack for that, the buttermilk bakery, and chat, you're probably going to see me use less buttermilk in the near future. I bought myself another pack of buttermilk powder. Yeah, it's essentially dehydrated milk, or evaporated milk, but into a powder, but it's got that tang. So if all you're after is the flavor, it's a pretty easy hack just to throw a little buttermilk powder in things. It doesn't last forever though, and they sell too much of it at once is the big issue there. I'm not going to bash on Hidden Valley, especially the powdered Hidden Valley, because there's all sorts of things you can do with that. I don't really typically have it in my house. I don't typically buy it or keep it around. But if I had it around, I'd probably use it for things. I'm just going ahead and frying off my garnish here while we're waiting on water to come to a nice full boil. And we're giving some time for the meat to hang out with the sauce. Some people are probably going to say that I flip my mushrooms too much. I have a tendency, once they start cupping in one direction or the other, to give them a flip to try and get them a little more even color. I don't know if it actually works or not though, but it's what I do. There's an actual like art and science to that when it comes to packaged products. Like one of the fairy tales my mom used to always tell me, I don't know if it's actually true or not, it seems like it would be true, was that they originally when they started making homemade cake powders and mixes, cake mixes, they made it so that everything was in there and you just had to add water. And they stripped out the egg and the oil to give them a feeling of actually cooking and doing something. I could see them stripping the oil out just to be cheaper about it too. Egg too. But these seem to be cooking. I guess they're doing okay. Nice, Maven. I like hearing that. Nice. Sailor Jerry and Coke. It's been a minute since I've had some Sailor Jerry. Fan of lime? No lime? Don't have the lime, so you're not worried about it? Nice head of broccoli. Didn't get too thick on you, did it, Maven? Mine sort of got too thick after stream and the rice was able to sit there and soak up everything once it cooled down. Now we're getting some color. Some beginning color. We're probably going to be repeating this process right here on Monday. Awesome, I'll pop. I actually considered making steak au poivre today. Safeway's got their choice, but got New York's on sale. So I was considering that. I've made it once before on stream, and I don't know that I 100% loved the way that I did it. So it's sort of on my list of things to go back to. But now I have plans from now until, like, the middle of next month. Great plans, super plans, the best plans. Okay, I lied about being into next month. I've got one dish into towards the middle of that month, but we've definitely got the rest of this month filled out. The major one is you don't go to the store hungry. The alternative to going to the store hungry is having like a set snack that's acceptable that you get when you go shopping. That's the other hack. You know, either you go and you're not hungry, or there's something you normally pick up. That's a toughie as far as freshness. I know if I didn't live here in Sonoma, I would think I wouldn't have nearly as much fresh produce, even though I don't really go to farmers markets nearly that often anymore. All right, heat off on this pan. While we're away at an ad here, we're going to chop up a little broccoli and a little parsley for garnish. I could be growing all sorts of stuff outside if I had a garden still. Fresh cutting all of this. Beans are interesting. Most people I know don't do beans because they don't do potatoes, and they don't do beans because they don't want to have to deal with the ground. They don't do onions. They don't do, because they're all relatively cheap. So at least from the farmer's market perspective, they're not going to make enough money off of them unless they're incredibly expensive compared to supermarket. celery's there too because you can buy a whole head of celery for $1. Maybe made with horrible water and taste like it, but okay, after cleaning up the broccoli here on this cutting board. Sorry, I didn't show that to you, chat. Let's do the parsley up too, while the pan's heating, hopefully. I got parsley for sure this time, chat. Have a good one, Penta. Thank you for joining in. Alright, so we got our heat going in the pan. This pan's nice and warm. We're going to go ahead and add in our garlic. Add our broccoli in before the garlic gets too spent. Little red pepper flake. Whoops. Broccoli. We got garlic, we got broccoli. Broccoli spilling out. Okay, pasta going in the pot. Oh well, we're going in with all of it. I wanted to do 2 batches, but it didn't want to cooperate. And take about half of this parsley. Throw that in here with the meatballs. I started the stream off hungry, by the way, chat. I don't know if I... So now I'm just, like, incredibly hungry. Heat off on these lovelies. I was going to throw some butter in there too. Salt. 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 Just dressing this with some butter and the parsley tonight. I guess I'll leave this on the counter. And then sauce. We want to move our meatballs around a little bit. Get them a little well coated. Off. I didn't use the oven tonight, but it's off too. Thank you, broccoli. There we have it, chat. Not 100% in love with this plate up, but it will survive. It shall suffice. It'll feed me just fine. As always, photos will be up in the Discord shortly. That was a good one. I enjoyed making this. It's going to be a nice couple of meals out of this. Just about everything that could go wrong about that plate up did go wrong, chat. The broccoli's ugly. The sour cream spread all over the place. I'm not saying it ain't gonna be delicious. The photos could have been so better. But I think this is where we are going to leave it for this fine Friday evening. Appreciate all of you coming to join me on your Valentine's Day. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the resubs and the gift sub today. Thank you. Okay, folks, I shall be back here Sunday. We're going to be changing things up from this. This is going to be a major change from this. Going to be doing almond tangine chicken. So we're going from Northern Europe to Middle East, Mediterranean. I hope you come back to join me for that. If not, I hope you all had an amazing Valentine's Day. And I hope you have a great evening. See you on Tuesday. See you on Sunday. Tuesday. I don't even stream on Tuesday anymore. Good night, folks.